You know, it's fascinating how ancient cultures tracked time, isn't it? There's this real curiosity about systems like the Mayan calendar.
There really is. And today, that's exactly what we're diving into.
Right. We want to unpack how it was built, what it was actually for, and maybe clear up some common myths surrounding it.
Absolutely. Think of it as getting past the headlines. We'll look at the principles, the components, its role in society, the astronomy behind it.
And tackle those big questions about accuracy, predictions, and, well, what happened when Europeans arrived?
Exactly. It's quite a story.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. What were the core ideas? How did they build this thing?
Well, it really boils down to two things: sophisticated math and incredibly careful sky watching.
Sky watching.
Yeah. They tracked the sun, the moon, Venus especially, figuring out their cycles over long periods. They saw patterns, rhythms in the cosmos.
And that formed a basis.
That was the foundation, this deep understanding of celestial cycles.
We often hear about two parts, the Tzolk'in and the Haab. Can you break those down a bit?
Sure. The Tzolk'in is often called the sacred calendar, 260 days.
260. That seems like an unusual number.
It is possibly linked to the human gestation period, or maybe agricultural cycles. It's a combination of 13 numbers and 20-day signs,
Mm.
very important for rituals and divination.
Okay. And the Haab,
That's the solar calendar. Much closer to our year, 365 days. It had 18 months of 20 days each.
which is 360.
Right. Plus a final sort of liminal period of 5 days considered quite unlucky, actually. The Wabe.
And these two work together.
They did. Imagine two gears meshing. One with 260 teeth, one with 365. They turn together and only line up back at the start after 52 Hob years. That's the calendar round.
Wow, 52 years. So this wasn't just theoretical timekeeping. How did it, function day to day?
Oh, it was completely integrated. It wasn't separate from life. It's structured life.
Like for farming?
Definitely for farming, planting,
Mm.
harvesting, but also for major religious ceremonies, for tracking royal lineages, planning political events, even going to war. It sets the rhythm for everything.
That leads right into the astronomy connection. Just how tight was that link?
Incredibly tight. You can't really separate Mayan astronomy from their calendar. Their observations directly fed into the system's design and corrections. They were meticulous observers.
And how good were their observations, really, without modern tech?
It's pretty stunning, actually. Their calculation of the solar year, for instance, was incredibly precise. They likely used things like cross sticks for sighting, maybe observatory structures.
Generations of data passed down, I imagine.
Exactly. Accumulated knowledge was key.
Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room, the predictions, end of the world stuff.
Right. This is probably the biggest misconception. The calendar tracks very long cycles, the long count.
Like the one that ended in, what, 2012?
Precisely. But for the Maya, the end of a cycle wasn't annihilation. It was a transition point. The closing of one era and the beginning of another. Think of it like New Year's Eve, but on a cosmic scale.
So not an apocalypse.
Not in the way it was portrayed. That's more of a Western projection onto their worldview, which was fundamentally cyclical. Time didn't just end, it renewed.
That makes sense. Now, shifting gears a bit, what happened when the Spanish arrived? How did that impact the calendar?
It was devastating, frankly. The conquest led to the destruction of many Mayan texts, the codices, and the suppression of their knowledge systems, including the intricate use of the calendar.
So a lot was lost or driven underground.
Yes, significantly disrupted, though elements certainly survive.
How do we study it now then? How do we know what we know?
It's a combination of things. Archaeologists studying inscriptions on monuments, epigraphers deciphering the Mayan script, analyzing the few surviving codices.
And working with Mayan people today.
Critically important. Many modern Mayan communities still use related calendar systems or retain knowledge passed down through generations. It's a living tradition for them.
So it's not just ancient history.
Not at all. It holds real cultural and spiritual weight for many Maya people today. It's part of their identity.
Okay, so wrapping up. We've seen the Mayan calendar was this incredibly complex system, deeply tied to astronomy, structuring almost every aspect of life.
And, crucially, that its long cycles mark renewals, not Armageddon,
Right, a sophisticated cyclical view of time and the cosmos.
which really contrasts with how we tend to see time now.
That's a perfect place to leave off, actually. It makes you wonder. Given the Maya saw time as this grand repeating cycle connected to everything, how does our modern, mostly linear view of time, past, present, future in a straight line, shape how we see the world and maybe our future within it? Something to think about.